Hello everybody and welcome back to Clash of Streamers Explained, a series where I discuss pretty much every aspect of Clash of Streamers in detail. Today I'm going to be talking about pets. There's actually a ton of depth to pets and a lot about them which many people may not be aware of. The goal of this video is to explain pretty much everything you need to know about them. Where do you get them, what are they for, and why should you care? I know when I first heard about the idea of pets, I wasn't really too excited, but when I actually took a closer look, I actually ended up liking them a lot, definitely a lot more than I thought I would have. It turns out they are extremely important if your goal is to min-max and get the absolute most out of your account. Hopefully this video will help you understand them well enough, and if not, you can always refer back to this video down the line if you need any extra info. So let's get right into it. The first time you'll end up getting some pets is while playing through the tutorial. As you unlock new buildings and upgrades, you'll start getting more and more pets. Although this will be your first introduction to pets while playing Clash of Streamers, it's far from the standard method of getting pets. There are actually many activities you can take part in every day to continuously get pets. For starters, you can get them in the Geopet Go building simply by moving around your environment in real life and collecting them. Or, if you're feeling lazy, you can use a pet attract. A pet attract costs 100,000 gems and will instantly bring you 5 additional pets which you can capture. One way you can get a free daily pet attract is by enabling your Clash of Streamers notifications. You can also get an additional free pet attract through many of the VIP levels. The cool thing about these pet attracts is they actually stack on top of each other. So, if you're not in the mood to go outside and get pets on some days, you can actually just pop all your pet attracts consecutively and reach your daily limit. Another way you can get pets is through the Match 3 Pets building. Inside this building, you can match pets together and produce a sort of child pet, which is the result of the two pets you're breeding together. You can only get a maximum of 50 pets per day using these two ways. For example, if you get 20 pets by matching other pets, you can only get another 30 by playing Geopet Go. Lastly, you can also get pets by hatching eggs inside of the Match 3 Pets building. Unlike matching pets and getting them through Geopet Go, there's no daily limit to the number of pets you can get by hatching eggs. However, you can only actually get a maximum of 50 eggs per day. So, how do you actually get eggs then? Well, for starters, you can get eggs through various random loot drops throughout the game if you're lucky. Although, this isn't the best way, as it's inconsistent and a bit unpredictable. The best way to get a consistent stream of eggs is by capturing a hatchery inside of the Geopet Go building. Hatcheries are signified by the large egg-like structures you see while playing Geopet Go. You can capture a hatchery by clicking on it and clicking the capture button. You'll notice you can capture the hatchery for free while your character model is inside of the radius of the hatchery, or if you are outside the radius, you can spend 100,000 gems to capture it. When a hatchery is captured, you'll receive a constant output of eggs. However, you won't actually hold a hatchery forever. When capturing a hatchery, you are essentially placing a team inside of the hatchery to hold it for you. This team will all be of the same faction type as the hatchery you're capturing, and the duration you hold the hatchery will depend on how strong that team is. For that limited time, you will gain eggs passively and see the accumulation of them inside your Match 3 building. For example, a red hatchery can be seen as a PogChamp hatchery, which will produce PogChamp eggs, and when those eggs are hatched, you'll get PogChamp pets. We'll talk more about the pet factions and what they signify later. Once you've got your hands on some pets, you'll notice they're a bit similar to your streamers or heroes in that they also have levels, they also have stars, factions, and abilities. In addition to these common aspects, pets also have a rarity. The rarity of a pet can be seen by the colored stone when viewing the pet, where the blue stone is rare, epic is purple, and gold is legendary. The actual rarity of a pet is determined by its appearance, where more mature and developed looking pets will often be considered epic or legendary, instead of just rare. Additionally, pets can also be shiny or colored. A shiny pet is simply a more rare breed of pet that has a different color than its standard version. These shiny pets can breed other pets with the same color shift, which are considered colored pets. Unlike shiny pets, colored pets cannot be bred to create other colored pets. It's important to note that whether a pet is shiny or colored has no effect on the abilities or stats of the pet. It's purely for aesthetic purposes. However, that's not to say that there won't be much value to collecting shiny or colored pets. There are achievements for collecting colored pets, and shiny and colored pets are far more rare as well as more visually pleasing. For these reasons, they'll likely be sold and traded more often and at higher prices on the auction house. You'll also notice pets can be attached to your buildings inside the main menu by holding the building down and selecting a pet. When a pet is added to the building, you can see it from the main menu as well as when you go inside of the building. Once you collect all of the pets for a building, you also unlock an achievement which gives that building a legendary effect. Like with your streamers, pets also belong to specific factions. A pet will belong to one of 6 factions: PogChamp, Smork, Lul, Tryhard, Kappa, and Kappa Pride. These are all the same factions that your streamers belong to as well. On the screen here, you can see examples of pets from each faction, as well as their rarity. As you can probably notice, pets from different factions look significantly different. You can see the colors often match the color of their faction, for example. Not only that, but they also have significantly different abilities. A pet ability set consists of 1 combat ability and 3 passive abilities. The passive abilities are abilities which impact many different aspects of the game. For example, tryhard pets have several passive abilities which reduce the cost to export to the blockchain, as well as rent heroes or pets. Lull pets have abilities which help improve the rewards of weekly events as well as lower the requirements. Smork pets have abilities which buff your heroes in combat. In total, each faction has a total of 21 possible passive abilities. 9 of these abilities are unique and specialized in certain aspects, like the ones mentioned before, and 12 are shared between all of the factions. All factions share abilities which relate to Match 3 as well as Geopet Go. There are some general luck increasing abilities, and there's also one ability in particular that they all share, which will likely be quite popular, the Crypto Hodler ability, which increases your passive Krypton generation from pet ability sets. You may not understand what this means or how this really works right now, but in the future we'll have a video about passive Krypton generation. Pets also have combat abilities, which when applied to certain heroes basically grants them a 5th ability on top of the other 4. Each faction of pets has a total of 7 distinct combat abilities to choose from. When these abilities are actually applied to your streamers, they can provide significant bonuses. Simply owning these pets is not enough to actually reap the rewards from many of these passive abilities and combat abilities. We'll go more in depth about how these abilities are activated later in the video. The first thing you need to understand about these abilities is that they are not all unlocked by default. You need the pet to reach certain levels to gain the benefits of many of these abilities. Pet levels have a completely different function to how they do with heroes. To start, pets only have a maximum of 4 levels instead of 12. You can level up pets in the level up building using pet dust. Just like you would with your heroes, you get pet dust from upgrading pet stars, which can then be used to level up pets. And with every level, the price per pet dust increases exponentially. Every time you level up a pet, you unlock 1 more of the 4 available abilities that will become active on a pet. So, by default, level 1 pets will only have their fighting ability unlocked and 3 passive abilities locked. When an ability is locked, you can't gain the effects of it no matter what. It's not until you actually level up the pet to the required level to unlock the ability you can potentially gain the effects of the ability. So, it's not until a pet reaches level 4 that all of their abilities are unlocked. Still, even after this, the abilities of a pet are still not active and the bonuses are still not applied. We'll get back to this soon, but before I talk about this, I'm going to talk about pet stars. Pet stars only go up to a maximum of 9, unlike your heroes which go to 12. You can upgrade a pet stars in the upgrade building by sacrificing 4 other pets, just the same as you would when upgrading hero stars. Only with pets, you get pet dust instead of streamer dust. But what exactly do stars do? Why would I want to upgrade the stars on my pets? The purpose of upgrading the stars on your pets is to increase the effects of their passive abilities. For every additional star you have on your pet, your passive ability effects are increased by an extra 0.5%. For example, let's look at this Smork pet ability, Horn of War. The ability states that it increases our power by 1%. If a 1-star pet had this ability, the power increase would be 1%. However, if a 9-star pet had this ability, it would be 5%. These percentages can also be increased further by getting additional achievements, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So finally, how do you actually use the abilities of pets? I should first mention that you can only ever have the abilities of 6 pets active at one time. Basically, 1 pet per faction. To activate the abilities of a pet, you need to first own the hatchery of its respective faction. In Geopet Go, you can click on the icon in the bottom left to check out the info on your hatcheries. Each hatchery gives you certain info: how much time until you lose the hatchery, which pet is active in the hatchery, as well as a luck percentage increase. The luck increase applies to getting better pets when matching pets of the same faction type, and the pet which is in the hatchery is the pet whose abilities will be activated. For example, we can look at this Smork hatchery as well as the pet which I have active in the hatchery. You can see the pet active in the hatchery is a 4-star level 3 pet, so this pet's passive abilities should be activated. We can actually check our active pets inside of the achievements building. Heading over to any tab in the achievement building, we can see our 6 pets at the top. These pets represent the pets which are active and have their abilities enabled. The ones which are darkened out do not have their abilities enabled, while the ones which are fully colored do. Remember back to when I showed my active hatcheries. I had the Lull hatchery, the Smork hatchery, and the Kappa hatchery. At the top of the achievements, we can see the brightened images are Lull, Smork, and Kappa images. These pets have their abilities activated. If we click on the Smork pet, we can see our passive abilities which have the bonuses applied. Since our pet is level 3, we have 3 abilities unlocked, and since it is also a 4-star pet, we have roughly 1.5% added to the base effect of the passive abilities. The active pet can also be changed by simply clicking on one of the pets while viewing your hatchery info. When we switch the pet, the new pet abilities will not actually be applied until the next weekly reset, which is shown through the countdown timer. If we go back to the achievements and head to our Smork pet info, you'll also notice the first ability states it requires the Smork loyalty tree. If we head over to the loyalty tree, you'll notice in the bottom left we see a Lol Guardian. If we head over to the Smork loyalty tree, you'll see a Smork Guardian. This is what you need to actually be able to use the combat abilities on your pets. Once you've collected 350 duplicate faces on a certain streamer, you'll unlock the Guardian pet for that tree. In this case, once we've unlocked 350 Athene Live duplicate faces, we'll unlock the Lol Guardian. The Lol Guardian will apply the combat ability of our active Lol pet to all of our Athene Live streamers. The same case applies to our Smork loyalty tree. Once we've unlocked 350 Strega duplicate faces, we will unlock the Smork Guardian, which will apply the combat ability of our active pet to all of our heroes with Strega faces. When you've unlocked a Guardian pet, the faction's hatchery becomes immune. As we can see, since we unlocked our Lol Guardian, our Lol hatchery is now immune. When a hatchery is immune, it becomes permanently owned, so you won't need to go out and capture it again. You can also get hatchery immunity from reaching certain VIP levels. For instance, at VIP level 2, you get the Lol hatchery immunity, and at VIP level 4, you get the PogChamp hatchery immunity. Every 2 VIP levels, you get immunity for a different hatchery, and by VIP 12, all of your hatcheries will be immune. To summarize, to activate the passive abilities of a pet, you need to own the faction's hatchery and place the pet inside, as well as make sure the pet has the required levels for the abilities. To activate the combat abilities of a pet, you need to complete the loyalty tree and unlock the faction's pet guardian, which applies the combat ability to all streamers with the same face you have inside the loyalty tree. Something many people may not actually be aware of is that there are pet skins as well as pets. So what's the difference between them and how do you actually get them? To put it simply, a pet skin is basically an empty shell of a pet. It's really only the look of a pet. It doesn't have a level, stars, abilities, or anything like that. You'll know you're looking at a pet if you can see the level as well as the stars, and you'll know if you're looking at a pet skin if below the image it just says skins followed by some number. If we look at an example of upgrading streamers, the 4 streamers in the bottom are destroyed, but the faces are added to your face collection, which you can then keep track of inside of the face swap building. Pets are similar in that sense. The pets are destroyed, but the skins, or the looks of them, remains in your collection. Pets and pet skins also have pretty different functions inside Clash of Streamers. Since your pet skins don't have abilities, levels, or stars, you can't set a pet skin as your active pet inside the hatchery. You can, however, use your pet skins to match with other pet skins or pets inside match 3, as well as place them on buildings like you could with any other pet. If you want to sell pet skins, you need to do so using the auction house, while if you want to sell pets, you need to do so on the blockchain, since the pets include the levels, stars, and abilities. If you want to find your pet skins, you can do so inside of the Match 3 Pets building, as well as the auction house. That's all the info I've got to talk about with pets. I know that was quite a lot to cover and a lot to remember. Most of this stuff you'll figure out naturally in the game, but some aspects, like with the abilities, for example, you aren't really clearly introduced to. Hopefully, this video will help clear up these areas so you understand exactly what everything is for and how it's used, because pets are actually a huge aspect of the game. They are vital if you're looking to export to the blockchain because you want to reduce your export cost, and they're also extremely important if you're looking to earn a lot of Krypton. This video has gone on long enough, so we'll discuss these topics in more detail in a future video. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, we always appreciate it. We've got a lot more videos like this coming in the future, so don't forget to subscribe for more. You do not want to miss out. Until the next time.